Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sport.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Detroit Lions. He'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
One way you become the all-time leading passer for your team is pure talent, and Phillip Rivers has plenty of that. But there's also dedication to your craft and the willingness to get better all the time. Phillip Rivers has a van set up with a driver so that when he goes to and from practice, he's able to watch tape and find ways to improve his mechanics each and every day.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Escaping the pressure right. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the chains, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd him everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hurry up!
Working out of the gun, Rivers. This is Gordon on the dump off. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he stopped immediately there. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got it first and goal at the 6.
Hey, tag 32! Tag 32!
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
3 down. 3 down.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now Gordon on first down. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Rivers. And his pass incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got them into the end zone.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. On the sneak, Rivers. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Phillip Rivers, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Partner, that was simply an example of getting low, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And for the quarterback, so they get low the line. They did their job. Is the quarterback's job just to find the crease and dive?
Find a crease and just get in there. Ordinarily, you start low yourself, get low behind that offensive line. But sometimes they do such a great job, you can almost fall forward and find the crease for a touchdown.
So out now come the Lions. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Riddick, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going to float this one deep right side, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in his first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now Rivers going underneath for Gordon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Rivers gets it to Gordon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. On play action, Rivers. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and the line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. And this will be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Personal foul, Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Stafford on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment. Defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Riddick with a carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. On the ground, it's Riddick. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
You're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Stafford now to throw. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are in for 6. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Sets up the screen to Gordon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Lions will take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play? That's what you need for a good counter. You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
The timing was great there and a big run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Stafford to the former Seahawk Wilson for Lions first.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
To throw is Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end Luke Wilson was the target, and that'll bring up second down.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. They'll give it to him up the middle. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here?
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions add on to their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns. In the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And we spotlight Keenan Allen as he gets set to go back to work. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. And right side, Henry's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Throwing, Rivers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult.
But how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake, so here come the Lions now. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now Riddick. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Going to give him 12 yards and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles. On
1st down at Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So they don't even need to run a second down play. Give them the first.
And typically when we see this jumping, isn't it usually third down, fourth down? They got them on second down. I think that's a lack of discipline.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got it. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Here's Stafford. And it's caught. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Lions on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is third and goal. Again, it's Stafford. And he fends him off. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Play action now, Rivers. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and now it's third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. On second down, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Rivers. It got his man complete. Down the numbers. There he goes. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and it certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the Chiefs who were able to come away with the home victory. 21-10, the final score. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest to check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Finally, we're out to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, L.A. Tyrell Williams. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field.
Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Set 180.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. There he goes inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Throwing is Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when we look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Off the play fake here, Rivers. That is incomplete.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
He's airing it out for Williams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly third and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talk about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team. And he had an opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Play action. Stafford. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt. And so far, it's working for both of them.
And they'll go on the ground. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. Wilson snags it left side. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. He's going to look deep down the field. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now a play fake here on first down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Jabal Sheard in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost are.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Matthew Stafford does it again. 5 touchdown passes. And thanks to the interception, the Lions offense cashes in with 6. Prater for the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down. They go back to Gordon here on first down. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
Back now at Ford Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They go back to Riddick. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing Rivers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Travis Carey. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Golladay, the intended receiver. Third down here.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Off play action. Stafford. And Wilson has it. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Here we go. Set.
On first down, Stafford here. And finding the tight end, Wilson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. And on the ground they go with a running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to take the offense back out there. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now Gordon looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Chargers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Down right around the 25. The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Barrett, on the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.